Hi, everyone. Hope everyone is having a wonderful Wednesday. Today is Wednesday, September 9th, and welcome to the channel where I describe personal investing, finance, and entrepreneurship. If you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe, hit the like button, and leave comments below so you can give feedback and let me know what you think of the channel. Wow, so a lot of things happened today. Today I'm going to go over the second stimulus check update and just give update on COVID numbers, but there was a lot of news to get into. So let's start right away. So late last night there was this article that came out regarding this hairstylist in San Francisco who took the picture of Pelosi in the salon during Labor Day. So her GoFundMe page basically exploded, and she received about 300,000 in I think it was overnight after she released the video of her exposing the maskless Pelosi. And she basically released a video and she was in tears, and I kind of feel sorry for the woman because she was a single mother of two, and she received a lot of threats and whatnot, and she had this fundraiser just to relocate her business after when she released the video. She received a lot of threats and whatnot, and she released a statement. I wish I could thank everyone personally who sent me their prayers, words of encouragement and support at a time when so many people are struggling to make ends meet in their own lives. Yeah, so I really feel for this woman. She's probably in the ground zero of the coronavirus, right? Like having her life turned upside down. So she said, "I'm very humble and grateful to have received such a outpouring of kindness, empathy, and generosity from people I don't even know, from all walks of life and sides of the political spectrum. It's a powerful reminder that the common things that bind us together as Americans are far more meaningful and lastful than political and ideological differences that get so much attention and focus." So she's a single mother of two at Salon. And, as I said, she released that video and it exposed Pelosi of not wearing a mask. So, there was this big outreach of, helping this woman out, which was huge last night. So there was an article in NY Post, and I think there was like a lot of stuff on Twitter that was hilarious about this. But it shows that some of the politicians aren't really, they're kind of engaged in this. Maybe they should be spending their time better on helping out the stimulus bill and trying to help people on the ground. But Mitt Romney got into it yesterday. He took a picture. He's showing that his salon is better than Pelosi's, which I think is I don't know. You guys comment. Let me know what you think of his Twitter response. But the picture is up there. And I just wanted to go over, with the talk of the second stimulus check, a lot of people are even missing their first stimulus check. So there was a lot of errors, a lot of mishandling by the IRS, a lot of really detailed craziness on the forms. So if you're missing your first one, you should look for if you received a letter of payment confirmation from the IRS. So typically, after 15 days of payment, the IRS sends you a physical letter to say that I've acknowledged the payment, you're good to go. But if you haven't received that letter, you might want to call the IRS and check that if payment has been sent. And you can also check your portal online to see about the payment schedule, if it has been paid or not. And I've heard that there's been sometimes mix-ups of different family members claiming dependents and whatnot, and this can cause various errors in the IRS payment system. So you need to check with your family, look how dependents are scheduled out, and look at any previous filings or claims which might have delayed your payment. And some important news, on August 25th, which was 1 to 2 weeks ago, the IRS reported that they're going to try to fix post errors with the first payment, meaning that they're going to start paying out physical checks that are going to try to fix the errors in the past. So like if you're owing maybe $1,000 on the last check, they're going to add that to the new check that's being mailed out. So it's possible that some people might receive, the second check before the people even receive the first one. So there's going to be a bit of fixing in terms of the balances for the IRS going forward. And, as I said, the new checks are going to be mailed out in physical form starting, basically mid-September, but there was no timeline. And there's also various application forms that were in error, like that were not fixed by the IRS until mid-May. So if you have any errors in your first stimulus check or any problems, just comment below. Maybe as a community, we can try to figure it out. So what happened yesterday? What was the latest news? So there was basically Mitch McConnell came out and addressed a lot of things yesterday. And he said, quote unquote, I will be moving immediately today to set up a floor meeting as soon as this week so that the Republican-led Senate, can try to vote on this skinny bill or, this targeted bill by the end of the week. So it's going to be really important to check the news this week to see if it is actually voted on by the Senate. Because if it does, that means a second stimulus check could be possible by the end of September. But it's expected that the House is expected to block it, mainly because they want to add a lot more stimulus and basically money to the skinny bill. So it's a back and forth, which is really bad right now because nothing is actually getting done. And in yesterday's news, Trump said that there was $300 billion magically lying in an account somewhere that could be used for this check. I find that very strange that there's some unknown account where the money is just sitting there, or it's in a savings account or whatnot. I don't know how real that is, or whether it's just something that's going to be diverted from somewhere else. So definitely it's in the lens of the election, and we're going to see how that really pans out. But to summarize, Mitch McConnell, he went out firing yesterday, saying that the Senate is going to vote on this, and Pelosi, she's just saying they want this skinny bill to be fattened up to like 2.2 billion. So I doubt that's going to happen because there's just so much fighting right now between the parties, and I think people are sick of it. So let's see what happens this week. So McConnell did mention very vaguely it's going to be focused on economy, healthcare, education, but that's kind of like that's what everything needs right now. So it's not very helpful. It's very vague. There's basically yesterday is just people coming out and fighting, saying, it's not going to be enough for sure. Democrats want a larger scope, to fill that, to take it to 2 to 3 billion, helping rent eviction, small business support, school support. And the House is expected to reject it, as I said, because they're going to need at least 60 votes to get it through the House. And that's going to be a low chance of passing, because first the Senate needs to pass it, and then it goes to the House, which is expected to resume on September 14th. But so many of the people are, working remotely or, still on Labor Day vacation. So I'm not even sure if they will get together to vote on something like that. So we got to see, this week is very important. So, what would this bill look like? So I think we've gone over this before, but there's going to be like $100 billion for schools. This is constantly, around 100 to 105. They were saying yesterday that they want to keep this or add this additional 300 to 400 per week for a jobless subsidy, which I think would be, very important, because that is where the cash is going to who needs it the most. And there's going to be possibly a second round of PPE money to help keep businesses, employees afloat. Maybe they talked about the $10 billion write-off at the U.S. Postal Service, possibly 20 to 30 billion for the coronavirus vaccine, 15 billion for increased virus testing, 15 billion to help childcare businesses stay afloat. I think that's very important. And 20 to 25 billion for farmers. That's very important as well. So I think, how much this gets passed and the total amount is still in flux. But as of now, I think they did not propose an additional $1,200 physical, check stimulus like the last one. So we'll see. I mean, I hope it gets done. I hope people get an additional $1,200. It will help people a lot more. And the scope of all this is all TBD. You know, you have this happening in the background, and you have all this kind of fighting on crazy stuff like the Salon and whatnot. So let's see what actually gets done. Let's see if the politicians can actually get things done. So let's see what happens in September. So let's go over the COVID numbers. They seem to be flat, a little bit of an uptick, over 27 million cases worldwide, 200K new cases as of September 4th. The data is a bit stale. This, as of this morning, United States COVID data looks like it's trending lower. They haven't updated it as of a.m. Eastern time, 6 a.m. 27,000 cases as of September 7th, but there was big upticks in California, Texas, Florida, over 1,000 day over day. And still, I think it ticked up 6.3 million total cases, over 190,000 deaths. In Canada, there's small downtick, 247 cases day over day, and over 134 cases as of September 7th data. So it hasn't really been updated for a day or two. So hopefully tomorrow's video will have better numbers. So that's it. I hope everyone is staying safe. It's a difficult time. Stay positive, keep working, and I hope you and your family stay safe.